Halo Infinite is finally out. Well, it's been out for like 3 weeks in an open beta, but its full release is in just a few days now. Honestly, so far I've really enjoyed the game. It is a ton of fun, especially for playing with friends. It plays really nice. It really manages to capture the classic Halo feel, but put it into a more modern shooter context, if that makes sense. But it is definitely far from perfect. So I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I want to see when the full game comes out on December 8th. Oh, and I won't be talking about the campaign today since we haven't been able to play it at all, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing it when it comes out. Everything I've seen from it so far looks really cool, so yeah, I can't wait for that. But for now, we're sticking with the multiplayer. And the number one thing I want to see most added to multiplayer on December 8th is just a way to choose different game modes. I assume that the current choices of quick play, big team battle, and ranked are only temporary for the beta, as 343 sort of figures out how the different game modes and stuff should be separated. It's just ridiculously frustrating when you get some stupid challenge like Stockpile, where you gotta play one of these Stockpile matches but just keep getting Slayer. Then as soon as you get Stockpile, your next challenge is to play a Slayer match. Then you get 4 Stockpile matches in a row, and I never want to play Stockpile again. So honestly, this isn't something I'm just hoping for, I'm kind of just expecting it at this point. I don't see why they wouldn't add the ability to choose what kind of match you want to play. The second thing that I want to see, also involving game modes, is just more modes. Once again, the menu has literally like 3 multiplayer options, and once again, I'm expecting a bunch more modes on December 8th. I really do think that this is something that could hurt the game if it doesn't get done by then, because people will get tired of playing the same few modes over and over again. There is a very noticeable absence of classic Halo modes like SWAT, Infection, King of the Hill, and Griffball, and I just think that without modes like these, fans will eventually lose interest. Now, I will say that I thought it was pretty cool how they brought in Fiesta for a week, and I definitely enjoyed it, but that's another mode that I would just like to be around all the time. I do like the idea of special modes that only last a limited amount of time, but I think that these limited time modes should be used to experiment with new modes rather than offer old ones for only a week or so, when they should just be in the game full time. But again though, I assume this is all just because the game is still in its beta, and that when it drops fully, these complaints will be answered. And the third thing that I wanted to talk about are the maps. The game definitely needs some more maps. The maps currently in the game are all decent, except Behemoth. I hate Behemoth and I will not elaborate. But despite all of them being fine, they're not really that great and there aren't that many. All of the regular maps get the job done, but none of them particularly stand out to me as a great Halo map. I always think back to the classic Halo games with their weird Covenant ships, random closed-off valleys in the middle of nowhere, poorly planned out military bases, and boarding action. And again, all of Infinite's maps are fine, a bunch I'd even say are good, but they're just not great and there aren't enough. So I would definitely like to see some classic maps come back and maybe some really new unique maps. And please bring back boarding action. Why does nobody ever talk about boarding action? The fourth thing, which I only briefly wanted to mention, is assassinations. 343 said that assassinations wouldn't be in the game at launch, so I'm not sure whether that meant the beta launch or the full launch, but I am definitely hoping to see them on December 8th. If not, it's fine, but I'm really interested to see how exactly they improve assassinations. I know a lot of people complain that they take too long, they put you at a disadvantage, but I don't really care. They still look cool, and now they will have a purpose. The fifth and final major thing I wanted to mention was the customization options. Currently, the customization is weak. Really, really weak. And sure, I'll admit, some of the old Halos had like barely any customization. I mean, Halo 2 is still probably my personal favorite Halo, and in that game you could only choose dude or dinosaur. That game definitely had weak customization, but that game came out over 15 years ago. I don't necessarily think that the current customization system with the different armor cores and shaders and stuff is necessarily bad, like a lot of other people think, but right now it just feels really, really barren, and practically everything you can unlock is stuck behind a paywall. Now, I did buy the Battle Pass, which is a whole different issue that I'm not even going to get into here, but even with it, I still feel like everything is just kind of lacking and really difficult to make your character feel unique at all. But again, I assume they are going to be dropping a ton of content at the official launch, and hopefully free content, so that new players aren't just stuck as the default recruit. I mean, come on, the first default helmet you unlock is at level 30 in the Battle Pass. That's just absurd. I've been playing almost every day since the surprise drop, and I only just got to level 30. So for a new player, you have to be playing for at least 3 weeks to get this helmet. It's just really ridiculous. But yeah, those were all the main things I wanted to mention, and besides that, I know that Forge and Split Screen will be coming later, and I'm definitely looking forward to those, but I don't really expect to see either at the full launch. But if they do drop them at the full launch, it would be an insane move and definitely a good look for 343. Well, as long as it all works. Oh, also, I don't know why I can't just stay in the same lobby after a game and just keep playing. According to my one friend who knows more about Halo than I do, that was how Halo 4 and 5 both launched as well, but to be honest, I just don't remember that. But I'm just taking his word on it. I didn't play either game right at launch, I got both of them at Christmas a couple months later. So maybe I just got them both after they already added this feature, or I just forget. And again, I'm not even going to get into the Battle Pass, that could be an entire video on its own, but it has improved significantly since the beta launch. Leveling up doesn't feel like as much of a chore anymore, but I do feel like I'm going to finish it by like January, and then I'm going to have nothing to unlock until the summer, which will suck. But I'm still glad they've been changing it for the better, and honestly I can't wait until the official launch. Although I definitely enjoyed Halo 4 and 5, Infinite is on the path to become way better than both of those games. But if they don't add more to the game, then I could definitely see it flopping and dying off in a few months in favor of the Master Chief Collection, which has been out for like 5 years now. So 343, please don't mess this up.